Hi, David. I thought it would just be easier to talk through this video for you. The first discussion rubric that you see is week 1A. The areas that are highlighted in green are what you did well. Your initial response repeatedly referred to course materials and reflected a deep understanding of fundamental principles. Your initial response used multiple professional and personal examples, and you creatively integrated application of our course materials. In your initial response, you referenced our course materials. Your writing was clear and concise. You used terminology correctly. Grammar and spelling were correct, and you had a scholarly voice. When you responded to your peers, you referred to the course material. Your response addressed the other students' feelings or perceptions. Your writing was scholarly. In week 1, you asked reflective questions, and it was submitted by the date and time. The issue with week 1A, your initial post was way too short in length, and your peer response was way too short. Thus, you got no points for any of the length of your responses. Week 1B, you vaguely reference course materials in your initial response. Competencies were not identified. Ideas are not synthesized. Your response uses professional or personal examples without integrating the answer with applications of course materials. Again, you vaguely reference course resources and no outside references were cited. There were APA format issues. However, your writing was clear and concise and easy to understand. Terminology was used correctly. Grammar and spelling were correct most of the time. In your peer response, you did well. The only issue was you did not ask any reflective questions. But once again, the length of your initial post and your peer response earned 0 points because they were so short. Now, I did make a video reviewing this online discussion rubric on November 14th, and it was posted under the instructor's announcements so that everyone could hear again my expectations for your postings for the discussion rubrics. Week 2A, your response did not refer to course materials at all. Your initial response reflected an inconsistent understanding of principles. Competencies are not identified. You didn't integrate your response with any course materials. You used personal examples, but once again, you didn't integrate any applications of the course material. Your response does not reference course resources. The writing was somewhat clear, but I still had some confusion when I read it. Your peer response was in the competent range. It could have improved by asking reflective questions. For week 2, your initial response was longer. You got 1 point. And your peer response was also longer. So that had improved. 2B. As you can see, you're falling in the competent categories until we get to your response to other students. You did not respond to anyone else for week 2B. This is your article review rubric, which I have almost all of these graded. You are the first student to get your score. You have a 29 of 45. You did not reference course materials in your article review. You used professional examples, but you didn't integrate the answer with course materials. This was the video I was referring to that was posted on November 14th for the discussion rubrics. You might want to review that again. But please, David, when you do your initial post, before you post it, take the rubric and self-assess. Before you post your peer response, again, look at the second page of that rubric and self-assess. If you have further questions, please reach out for me and we can set up a phone conference. Thank you.